Hi, welcome back to Show and Sell. My name is Scott. It's the weekend. That means yard sales, at least in my area. I went out Friday and Saturday. Let's see what I found. At the first sale of the day, well, not the first sale, I went to two before this. At the first purchase of the day, I picked up 2 aprons. I actually paid $1. I just didn't feel like negotiating. They were for the Hungry Fisherman, which was a seafood restaurant in my part of the country. I think they're all closed now. I just thought it would be an interesting throwback, and it's a sort of a canvas apron that I'm hoping will clean well. I had never seen one before. It is a drug rep related apron, naproxen, which struck me as bizarre, but 2 aprons, $2. I picked up these 4 hats for $1 each. A Dauphin Island cap, a hat that's labeled George. I guess that's the brand. I'm unfamiliar with it, but it was in good condition. And 2 Nike hats, an AC Golf and an Ole Miss cap. $4 all in. Not a bad deal. Here we have a selection of items that I picked up at a sale. A selection of Boy Scout patches, I think they are, and a Scrabble. I picked up those for $1. I was about to leave and he said, "Don't you want to see inside the store?" And what I thought was a shed was an old store. And they were just trying to empty it out. Found an odd selection of items. Even he said it had been picked over pretty well, but I found a JVC camcorder, an RCA camcorder with a JVC power supply. It does have the RCA power supply. I don't know if the camera works. I just bought it for the power supply as the bag. And if it does, all the better. And after poking around, I found a knife block, a couple of knife blocks. I did not want the knife blocks. I just picked a few knives, cherry-picked a few knives, Farberware, SantaSafe, Hollow Ground, Chupa, Imperial, all in. The camcorder was $5, and the knives, all in, it was a $14 purchase. $1 for the Scrabble board and the patches, $5 for the camcorder, $5 for one set of knives, and then I picked up another handful, and he just charged me $3. So again, $14 all in at this sale. At the last sale that I went to, I picked up an odd selection of items, always my favorite kind. A cotton bag from Saudi Arabia that says Grain Silos and Flour Mills Organization. And it has some Arabic on it. Just an odd item to find in northern Mississippi, but there you go. At the same sale, a Playboy cigarette case in very good condition. A Stephen King Just After Sunset, the first edition from Scribner. I've talked about Bell's Best in a couple of videos. This appears to be from the same organization, Calling All Cooks, and I think it's from 1981. A Royal Kismet board game. I think the date on this was 1974. It does have the dice. It has the pad to keep track of your score. It even has the original pencil and the cup. Beneath Royal Kismet, we have a deluxe edition of Scrabble. Everything's there, including the gamepad, pencil, a little bag. All the tiles have been counted. And lastly, a couple of travel mugs, the Bubba travel mugs, the Bubba Keg travel mugs, a pink one and a silver one. And all in at this yard sale, technically an estate sale. It was inside. They listed it as a yard sale, but it was inside, and it was they were closing out the house. It was an estate sale. All in, $8. At the first sale I went to on Saturday morning, they didn't have a lot that I was interested in. However, they did have a knife block with a selection of knives. I asked how much they would take. They said $5, and I took the knives, left the block, and left a couple of the smaller knives. But I picked up these 7. The two on the left are from, I believe it's ACOC, and the rest are all Farberware. I have found knives sell pretty well. Most people undervalue them. It is fairly easy to ship a single knife as long as you, I don't know, fashion a guard out of some cardboard and put it into a box safely. 7 knives, $5. For good or for bad, sometimes we rub off on those around us. I had a family member stop at a yard sale and make a few purchases for me. 2 Hallmark plush puppies, pretty good condition, $1 each, and a near vintage, it's from 2004, Cabbage Patch doll. Now the box does have some shelfware, but it is sealed, and otherwise the doll itself should be in mint condition. But $5 for a 2004 Cabbage Patch doll. They also picked up 2 cookbooks, Delectable Collectibles from, I believe it was 1971, paid $1, and a Better Homes cookbook for $1. So $9 all in. Thank you very much. So what'd you think? Did you see any items that you fell in love with, or would you have left half the items and kept on walking? I may have reconsidered on a couple of the items that I actually purchased, but more on that when we get to it. I'm going to refer to a cheat sheet here that I have so that I can I always keep track of what I purchase at yard sales and auctions, so that I can keep a running tally of how much I've spent, how much I've lost, how much I've made back, that sort of thing. But here we go. The 2 aprons, the Hungry Fisherman apron and the naproxen apron. The naproxen apron I actually thought was another type of drug. It's just a time-release drug. I think it's a steroidal drug. It doesn't really matter. But the 2 aprons, I think they're probably going to sell for $10 to $15 each. Maybe the drug rep apron will sell for a little bit more. $2, not bad. The Playboy cigarette case. There is only one other online that I have found. I think they're asking about $40. I priced mine. I'm going to let them sell theirs first. I priced mine very high at about $150, and I'm going to see if it sells. I'm going to let it sit in the store. I may play with the price depending on the number of views that it gets. But I'm going to let it sit there for a while. There are not a lot. They're clearly not making any more. So I have hopes for that one. Leading in, that was a cigarette case leading into all of the items from that one section. That was an estate. It was listed as a yard sale, both in the paper and in front of their home. It was an estate sale. The 2 people had passed away that lived there. The children were selling the home. I understand that completely. However, the home and the children, the two daughters, were talking about it while I was there. The home reeked of cigarette smoke. Everything smelled of cigarette smoke. I'm not sure how well a few of the items that I purchased at that sale or how they're going to do, because the odor gets trapped in things, and people that are sensitive to cigarette smoke or are allergic to cigarette smoke, or frankly just don't like cigarette smoke, and buyers may use that as a reason to return an item or ask for a refund. But I clearly labeled everything that had that was made of paper or a box, like from the two games that I purchased, for example. Anything that I couldn't wash, I labeled as from a smoker's estate. And please do not purchase if you're allergic or you're sensitive. But we all know That doesn't always mean that people don't always read the titles, much less the descriptions. We'll see if that comes back on me or not. But there were a couple of books. The Calling All Cooks book is related to the Bell's Best cookbooks, so I priced that at about $15 because of the cigarette smoke. The Stephen King was the first edition. It usually sells for about $30, but I'm pricing it at $20, again, due to the cigarette smoke. The two travel mugs, I'm going to say $10 to $15, but they're literally soaking in vinegar right now and being washed multiple times because the mugs were porous and they just trapped that scent. But I do believe after maybe one more rinse cycle that they'll be fine. The Saudi flag on the bag, and I say flag, the flour bag, was just an unusual item. I'm going to say $10, $15. I should sell for $10 or $15. The Royal Kismet game, I have it listed for $25. I'm going to say somewhere between $15 and $20, maybe it'll sell for. The Scrabble board, I have it listed for $30 plus shipping, also mentioning the smoke. I may have to decrease that price later, but it is a collectible board. It does turn, it has all the pieces. Other than the smoke, it's in great condition, so I'm fingers crossed somebody will purchase it as a gift or for their children or what have you. But not everyone is as sensitive to cigarette smoke because, let's be honest, lots of people still smoke and they wouldn't care. The patches, I paid $1 for the Boy Scout patches. Thank you, Bill, for getting me into paying attention to Boy Scout memorabilia. I picked them up because I saw OA on one of the patches, and that was the patch that sold, OA, Order of the Arrow. That patch I sold for $35 after 2 hours on eBay. The other patches I have listed as a lot for $20. The Scrabble board, I'm just going to take the tiles out and put it in a lot at a later time. The JVC, the RCA camcorder, I'm going to sell that. I have it listed for $40 plus shipping. All of the knives over multiple sales. Knives I have found sell well. Most people are looking for pocket knives or jackknives, collectible knives in tins, but they ignore, sorry about that, but most people tend to ignore kitchen knives. Even if they're in a nice block, a lot of times you can pick up the individual larger knives for $1 each. I've done really well with knives. Thank you, Jason, for tuning me in, giving me the eye for chef's knives. But again, I think most of them will sell somewhere between $10 and $25, depending on how I lot them. But a lot of them are going to be $15 all day. And I have I think I purchased 2 lots, 7, and it's 22 knives. And I paid $12 for all of them. So should quickly get my money back on the knives. The pencil salesman case, that is a really unusual item. I did not recognize it for what it was when there are a couple listed on eBay. They have sold. There are comps. They do tend to vary depending on the manufacturer. Mine is unbranded. I think I'm going to list it probably between $50 and $100. I don't have an exact price in mind yet. I'm probably going to hit it about, now that I'm thinking about it, probably at about 100, and fingers crossed it'll sell as is. I was originally going to lot it with some other pencils that I have, but right now I think I'm just going to list it for 100 as is. The Tennessee helicopter hat and the transmission, I think it's transmission hat, sell those each for $10, $15. The selection of the 4 caps, varying prices, $10 to $20. And picked up by a family member, a 2 plushes, and picked up by a family member. We had the 2 Hallmark puppy dog plushes. I'm going to say I listed them for $20 as a set with about $10 shipping, and I have put $50 plus shipping on the Cabbage Patch doll because it's new. The box has a lot of shelfware, but it is a new doll. And with the holidays coming up, fingers crossed, we'll see. And 2 cookbooks. You know, cookbooks are always great. They don't sell. I have hit and miss. I've sold several Bell's Best. I've sold a few others. I have a lot of cookbooks, but they're so inexpensive to pick up. And it's something that you can always drop in your own yard sale or just donate. But I'm going to say that they will sell for $20 to $30 together. What'd you think? Do you agree with my pricing on those or think I'm way out of the park? Hit me up in the comments and let me know. If you like this video, hit like. If you didn't like this video, also hit like. I think it's mandatory. In fact, I think it's in the official rules. Go down in the comments and tell me why you didn't like it. And hey, it's the only way I'm going to learn. Hit subscribe if you'd like to be alerted when future videos drop. I do a series of unboxings from 2 estates. I have videos for a couple of subscription boxes I do, as well as auctions and yard sales. I really enjoy bringing these videos to you. I thank you for watching. My name is Scott. We'll see you next time.